if you're still confused about why it is we need to be keeping the Ten Commandments, and you don't know the prophecy of the Messiah that the apostles told you to go and learn in Acts 3, they're quoting Deuteronomy 18 for, it's really the root of why we have a left and a right. The narrow path is understanding that we need to be keeping the Ten Commandments and not going to the letter of the law. The left is going to say that we're no longer under the law, meaning the Ten Commandments, but if they understood what the added law was versus the everlasting covenant, they wouldn't get mixed up. But then you've got on the right, the Torah movement, who are still going to the letter of the law, still touching Sinai. And if you don't understand these things that I'm talking about, then I'm hoping that this video will help clear it up. Because Deuteronomy 18, the prophecy of the coming Messiah, it tells you that he's going to teach everything that Israel desired at Horeb. Horeb is a different place to Sinai. So the most important thing to note is, well, what did Israel desire at Horeb? So you have to go to Deuteronomy 5 to find out. But Deuteronomy 9 and 10, Moses actually retells the story of him going up and getting the 2 tables of stone, engraving the 10 commandments on the 2 tables of stone. And then he comes down, they sin with the golden calf, he smashes the tablets, he has to go back up, he has to get the tablets again. Yah's about to destroy them, Moses pleads on their behalf and says, please don't destroy them. So Yah basically says, I'm going to curse them with this sacrificial law. And that sacrificial law would be added until the Messiah comes. Galatians 3:19. Wherefore then serveth the law? It was added to what? It was added to the covenant that was engraved with Yah's finger. The written law of Moses was added to the covenant because they transgressed with the golden calf. He had to engrave on the 2 tablets twice. He had to do it twice. But Deuteronomy 9 and 10 is, Moses is retelling the story, and it just clears it up for you. It shows you the difference, and it's amazing, really, because there's the same language as Deuteronomy 18. So then you realize, oh, the Messiah is going to come and teach everything desired at Horeb and refresh that covenant, meaning take away what was added, the added burden, the burden that the fathers couldn't bear. That's what Acts 15 is all about. Don't put the burden of the sacrificial law and circumcision on the Gentiles. Israel transgressed and that was added, but the Messiah came and refreshed it so that they just have to enter into the covenant. The covenant was the 10 commandments, and this even gives it away. And also this part of the story, I believe, is Exodus 32 to 34, where you've got the golden calf, he has to go up and get the tablets again. But yeah, I just want to read a few parts out of Deuteronomy 9 and 10 to prove to you we're not under the sacrificial law, we're under the 10 commandments. So Deuteronomy 9 from verse 7, remember and forget not how you provoked the Lord thy God to wrath in the wilderness, from the day that you did depart out of the land of Egypt until you came unto this place. You have been rebellious against the Lord. Also in Horeb you provoked the Lord to wrath, so that the Lord was angry with you to have destroyed you. When I was gone up into the mount to receive the tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant which the Lord made with you. This is Deuteronomy 4 and 5. Deuteronomy 4:13 tells you specifically that the covenant was the 10 commandments and nothing more was added. That's Deuteronomy 5:22. He lists the 10 commandments. He says, I will be your God, you will be my people if you keep this covenant. They they basically agree to do so. Then they sin with the golden calf. Moses breaks the tablets, he has to go and get them again. When I was gone up into the mount, I received the tables of stone, and the Lord delivered unto me 2 tables of stone, written with the finger of God, and on them was written according to all the words which the Lord spake with you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of assembly. Now, the prophecy of the Messiah, Deuteronomy 18 from 15 to 19. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet, a capital P prophet, that's the Messiah, from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me, like unto Moses. Unto him you shall hearken, according to all that you desired of the Lord thy God in Horeb, Deuteronomy 5, in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God, neither let me see this great fire any more, that I die not. That's the 10 commandments. That's what we've just read in Deuteronomy 9. That's what what he spoke there to them in Horeb was the tables of the covenant, the 10 commandments, and nothing more was added. And the Lord said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. They agreed to keep it. I will raise them up a capital P prophet from among their brethren like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth. This is Acts 3. That's why they say go and learn what Moses said about the Messiah, because if you don't, you're going to go to the left or the right. And he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him, and it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. Anyone that doesn't listen to the words of the Messiah, meaning the 10 commandments, or anyone that stumbles to the left or the right because they're not actually truly obeying, they're going to be cut off from among their people. We'll continue in Deuteronomy 9. So the Lord delivered the 2 tables of stone written with his own finger, that was according to all the words which the Lord spake with you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly at Horeb, Deuteronomy 5. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days and 40 nights that the Lord gave me 2 tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant. The 10 commandments is the covenant. And the Lord said unto me, arise, get thee down quickly from hence, for thy people which you have brought forth out of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They are quickly turned aside out of the way which I commanded them. This is while Moses is getting the 10 commandments. He leaves them for 40 days. They have made them a molten image. Furthermore, the Lord spake unto me, saying, I have seen this people, and behold it as a stiff-necked people. Let me alone, that I may destroy them, and blot out their name from under heaven. And I will make of thee, Moses, a nation mightier and greater than they. So I turned and came down from the mount, and the mount burned with fire, and the 2 tables of the covenant were in my 2 hands. And I looked, and behold, you had sinned against the Lord, and had made you a molten calf. That is the transgression that caused sacrificial law to be added. Because Deuteronomy 5:22 tells you, how many times do I have to say this? Nothing more was added to the 10 commandments until they transgressed. Galatians 3:19. The law that was added. Do not serve that law. The Messiah came to refresh the covenant so that you could go back to Horeb before you touch Sinai. The end of Leviticus tells you these are the words. The sacrificial law was what Moses wrote down, and it was what Moses gave to the children of Israel because of what they did at Sinai. So once they do the golden calf, Moses takes the 2 tables and casts them out of his hands and break them before their eyes. And I fell down before the Lord, as at the first 40 days and 40 nights. I did neither eat bread nor drink water, because of all of your sins which you sinned in doing wickedly in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. So because of that, Moses then grinds the calf, burns it with fire, stamps it at the ground, and makes them drink it. It's pretty brutal. But remember, Moses is pleading for their sake, don't destroy them. Please don't destroy them. Look, when you look at them, see your servants instead of their wickedness. And then Deuteronomy 10. At that time the Lord said unto me, hew thee 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and come up unto me into the mount, and make thee an ark of wood. And I will write on the tables the words that were in the first tables which you break, and you shall put them in the ark. He writes the 10 commandments again on 2 more tables of stone. That's the covenant. And he puts it in the ark of the covenant. The ark represents your heart. And then you'll see in Deuteronomy 31 that the written law of Moses, because of their transgression, the added sacrificial law was put in the side as a testimony against them until it was finished. When the Messiah says on the cross, it is finished, that means the sacrificial law is finished. So keep the covenant, enter into life.